Welcome back to the channel Top Coin collectors and curious minds. Today, we're diving into a hidden gem of American coinage, the humble 5-cent coin from 1980. That's right, the 1980 Jefferson nickel. You've probably seen it, maybe even have one in your pocket or piggy bank right now. But what if I told you that some of these everyday coins could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars today? Yes, you heard that right. A simple 5-cent coin from 1980, a coin you might ignore or use for parking, could be hiding a value far beyond its face. And in this video, we're uncovering the rich history, the valuable errors, the key features, and most importantly, the current market price of the 1980 Jefferson nickel. So make sure you watch till the end, because you might just learn how to spot a fortune lying right under your nose. Let's get into it first. Let's travel back in time for a moment. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel that had graced pockets for 25 years. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel featured a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse, we see Monticello, Jefferson's estate in Virginia. Clean, elegant, and patriotic, this design remained largely unchanged until 2004. The Jefferson nickel is one of the longest-running coin series in American history, and the 1980 edition is part of that proud legacy. And now, what makes the 1980 version so interesting? That's exactly what we're going to uncover. In 1980, the United States Mint produced Jefferson nickels in two primary locations, the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark at the time, and the Denver Mint, marked with a small "D" on the coin. There is no 1980 CES business strike, only proof coins were struck in San Francisco. Here are the official mintage numbers: 1980, no mint mark, Philadelphia over 593 million coins were minted. 1980's D, Denver over 518 million was struck. 1980 OS, San Francisco, proof only approximately 3.5 million proof coins were produced. Now, you might be thinking, with hundreds of millions produced, how can this coin possibly be rare or valuable? The answer lies in condition, rarity of high-grade examples, and errors, some of which are extremely scarce and sought after by collectors around the world. This is where things get really exciting. The 1980 Jefferson nickel might seem like an ordinary coin, but there are rare versions that sell for big bucks. Let's break down the types of valuable variations and errors. 1. Full steps designation, FS. One of the most important details that makes a 1980 Jefferson nickel valuable is the full steps designation. What does this mean? On the reverse side of the coin, Monticello has a series of steps leading up to the building. If these steps are fully struck and visible, with 5 or 6 distinct steps and no interruptions, the coin may earn a full steps label from grading services. These FS coins are rare, especially in high grades like MS65 or above. Collectors pay a premium for them. For example, a 1980s DMS66 full steps Jefferson nickel has sold for over $1,000 at auction. That's right, a 5-cent coin worth $1,000. 2. Double die errors, DDO or DDR. Double die obverse or reverse errors occur when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during the minting process, causing a noticeable doubling of images or text. On the 1980 Jefferson nickel, this can show up in the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or even on Jefferson's face. These coins are significantly rarer and can fetch hundreds of dollars, depending on the grade and strength of the doubling. 3. Off-center strikes. Off-center strike errors are dramatic and easy to spot. The design appears shifted to one side of the coin, leaving part of it blank. A 1980 Jefferson nickel with a 10% to 20% off-center strike in high grade can be worth $50 to $150 or more. Greater misalignment often means greater value, especially when the date is fully visible. 4. Clip planchette and die cracks. Coins struck on incomplete planchets or showing visible cracks due to worn-out dies are also collectible. A clipped planchette 1980 nickel can fetch between $25 and $75, while significant die cracks can add similar value depending on severity and visibility. Grading is absolutely essential when it comes to determining value. Most circulated 1980 nickels are only worth face value, 5 cents, because of heavy wear. but if you have a coin that looks uncirculated or close to mint condition, you might be holding onto a mini treasure. Here's a breakdown of the average values by grade: circulated, very fine to extra fine face value, possibly up to 10 cents; uncirculated, MS60, MS63 around 25 cents to $1; high grade, MS65, MS66 $10 to $50, especially for full steps; MS67 or higher with full steps, $500 to $1,500 plus, depending on the market and auction performance. Proof coin, 1980s around $1 to $3, but deep cameo. Proofs in PR69 or PR70 can sell for $10 to $100. Remember, prices fluctuate based on demand and current market trends. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC tend to command higher values due to the trust and accuracy in professional grading. You don't need to be a professional to start searching for valuable nickels. Here's how you can start. Check your change. You'd be surprised how many valuable coins are still in circulation. Use a magnifying glass, look closely at Jefferson's face, the text, and the steps on Monticello. Weigh your coin. An average nickel weighs 5 grams. Deviations could indicate a planchette error. Look for mint marks. Check under the date. A DR means it came from Denver. No mark means Philadelphia. Compare with online images. Plenty of collector sites show known examples of valuable errors. If you think you've found a valuable coin, consider submitting it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. So, the next time you come across a 1980 nickel, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. It could be a full steps gem, an error coin, or a high-grade piece that could fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. The thrill of the hunt is real, and for coin collectors, there's no better feeling than finding treasure in the most unexpected places. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1980 Jefferson nickel, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another episode. We've got more rare coins, hidden treasures, and valuable collectibles coming your way. Have you ever found a valuable nickel? Let us know in the comments below. Your story might be featured in a future video. If you're a coin collector, a history buff, or just someone who stumbled upon a strange old nickel in your change jar, then you're in for a treat today. Because in this video, we're diving deep into the story, secrets, and surprising value of the 1974 United States 5-cent coin. That's right, the Jefferson nickel, minted nearly half a century ago. You might be thinking, it's just a nickel, right? 5 cents. But wait until you hear how some of these coins have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and why collectors around the world are still chasing them down today. So grab your coin jars, pull up that old collection, and get ready, because the 1974 nickel is about to get a whole lot more interesting than you ever imagined. Let's take it back to 1974. Richard Nixon was the President of the United States. The Vietnam War was nearing its final phase, and the nation was in the midst of an economic struggle, dealing with inflation and rising prices. But amid all the turbulence, the United States Mint was hard at work, producing coins for the American people, including a staggering 854 million Jefferson nickels dated 1974 from various mints. That's right, over 854 million nickels were struck that year. Specifically, these were produced at 3 minting facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Here's the breakdown. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, around 601 million coins minted. Denver Mint, marked with a small d, with about 277 million produced. San Francisco Mint, these were proof coins only, not meant for circulation, and fewer than 3 million were made. But here's the kicker: not all of these coins are created equal. Some are common, yes, but others, due to minting errors or rare varieties, are extremely valuable today. The 1974 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. His profile faces left, and surrounding his image are the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty." The year 1974. On the reverse side, we see Monticello, Jefferson's iconic estate in Virginia. It's detailed and stately, with the inscriptions "E Pluribus Unum Monticello 5 cents United States of America." Sounds simple, right? But it's the tiny details, die varieties, errors, and condition that turn some of these coins into absolute treasures. Let's talk about what makes a 1974 nickel valuable. First, there are the errors. These are coins that weren't struck correctly at the mint. They can be dramatic or subtle, but collectors go wild for them. Point 1. Off-center strikes. Some 1974 nickels were struck off-center, meaning the design is not aligned with the coin's edge. Depending on how off-center it is, values can reach $50 to $300 or more. 2. Double die errors. These are highly collectible. If the coin was struck with a misaligned die, you might see doubling on the date, letters, or Monticello itself. A strong double die error on a 1974 nickel could fetch between $150 and $1,000, depending on its condition and prominence. 3. Full steps variety. This is a big one. Collectors look for Jefferson nickels with fully defined steps on Monticello, at least 5 to 6 full steps visible, with no major breaks. These are hard to find, especially from the Philadelphia Mint. A 1974 nickel with full steps in uncirculated condition can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC.in. Fact: one 1974 D nickel with full steps was graded MS67 FS, that means mint state 67 with full steps, and it sold at auction for over $1,500. Now, let's talk condition. The value of a 1974 nickel depends heavily on its grade. The better the condition, the more valuable it is. Grading runs from poor, P1, all the way to mint state, MS70. Most nickels you'll find in pocket change today are probably circulated, and worth face value or a few cents more, but if you have one that's shiny, sharp, and shows no wear, especially one with full steps, then you're in the realm of serious collector interest. Here's a rough guide. Circulated, G to XF face value to $0.25 uncirculated, MS60. MS64 $1 to $10, MS65 and up, $20 to $200 plus, MS67 with full steps, $500 to over $1,500 depending on mint. Always consider getting high-grade coins professionally graded, especially if you see potential errors or proof like quality.so. What's the current market like for 1974 nickels? The coin collecting world is booming. With online platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the right coin. Right now, a high-grade 1974 D or 1974 no mint mark nickel with full steps can easily sell in the $200 to $1,500 range, depending on certification and eye appeal and rare errors. They often go fast, especially if listed with clear images and verified grading. Die cracks, cut errors, double dies, and off-center strikes are particularly hot. Proof coins from San Francisco are also gaining attention. While not as valuable as full-step circulation coins, a deep cameo proof can still bring in $5 to $25 or more, especially if slabbed and flawless. Here's what to do if you want to check your 1974 nickel. Inspect the date and mint mark. Is it from Philadelphia? No mint mark. Denver? D. Or a San Francisco proof? S. Check Monticello steps. Look closely at the base of the building. Count the steps. If they're sharp and full, you might have a winner. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass or loop. Doubling, off-center strikes, die cracks, they all add value. Condition: is the coin scratched, worn, or lustrous? Mint state coins are where the big money is. Consider certification. If you think it's a valuable piece, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading.so. There you have it, the full story behind the 1974 United States 5-cent coin. What seems like an ordinary nickel could actually be a hidden gem in your collection, your piggy bank, or even your couch cushions. If you've got a 1974 nickel, take a second look. You might just be holding onto something worth far more than 5 cents. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin deep dives, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Got a cool coin to share? Drop a comment below. We love hearing your stories and finds. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your change be filled with treasures. Thanks for watching. This has been your deep dive into the 1974 Jefferson nickel. Stay curious, stay sharp, and keep looking closely. You never know what small piece of history might be hiding in plain sight. Would you believe that a coin worth just 5 cents when it was minted back in 1988 might now be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to collectors? Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true, and today, we're going to dive deep into the world of the 1988 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. Its history, design, errors, and rare varieties might just surprise you. And if you have one lying around in a drawer or an old coin jar, you'll want to watch this video all the way to the end. In the year 1988, the United States was experiencing major cultural and economic shifts. Ronald Reagan was serving his final year as president, and the Cold War was inching toward its conclusion. Amid this historical backdrop, millions of 5-cent coins were quietly struck and released into circulation by the U.S. Mint, with no fanfare, no headlines, and certainly no one expecting they'd ever be worth more than 5 cents. But every coin has a story. The 1988 Jefferson nickel is part of a coin series that dates back to 1938. It features a left-facing profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, or front, of the coin. This design was created by artist Felix Schlag, whose initials were added to the coin much later, in 1966. On the reverse, you'll find the iconic image of Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia estate, which has become a familiar sight to Americans for decades. These nickels were made of a copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving them a distinctive silver-gray appearance and a weight of exactly 5 grams. In 1988, the U.S. Mint produced nickels at 3 main facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Let's take a look at the numbers, because this is where things start to get really interesting. From Philadelphia, over 643 million nickels were struck. These coins carry no mint mark, just a clean field on the right of Jefferson's portrait. From the Denver Mint, over 581 million were made, and you can spot them with a small adit on the obverse. San Francisco produced a smaller batch, about 3.2 million, but these were proof coins made specifically for collectors. These proof coins have an S mint mark and are known for their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. They're stunning to look at and often preserved in sets, untouched by circulation now. While those mintage numbers might seem massive, not all nickels are created equal. The real value lies in rarity, and rarity often comes from condition, errors, and low survival rates. Let's talk treasure. Because yes, some 1988 nickels are worth far more than their face value. Here are some of the most valuable types collectors look for. 1. Full steps variety. This is a big one. If you flip the coin and examine the Monticello building, pay close attention to the steps at the base. If all 5 or 6 steps are clearly defined and separated, with no signs of wear or weak strike, you might have a full steps nickel. These are extremely desirable to collectors, especially in high grades. Some 1988 D full steps nickels have sold for over $400 or more in certified mint state condition. 2. Off-center strike error coins that were struck off-center, meaning the design is shifted to one side, are rare and collectible. A 1988 nickel with a 10 to 20% off-center strike can easily fetch between $50 and $150, depending on the degree of the error and the overall condition. 3. Double die error. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck twice with a slightly misaligned die, causing doubling on the text or image. Look closely at the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" on the obverse. If you see noticeable doubling, that could mean a big payday. These coins are rare but can be worth hundreds or more depending on clarity and grade. 4. Clipped planchet or wrong planchet errors. Imagine finding a 1988 nickel that was struck on the wrong metal, say, a penny blank. Or a coin with a clean, crescent-shaped chunk missing due to a miscut planchet. These kinds of errors are highly collectible and can sell for several $100s at auction. When it comes to coins, condition is king. A 1988 nickel found in pocket change, scratched and worn, might still only be worth 5 cents. But the exact same coin, if pulled straight from a mint roll or a proof set, and showing no signs of wear, could be worth a small fortune. Professional coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC assess coins on a 70-point scale. A grade of MS65 or higher, meaning mint state with few flaws, dramatically increases value. For example, a 1988 D Jefferson nickel graded MS67 with full steps can be valued between $300 to $700 depending on market demand and eye appeal. A 1988 less proof nickel in perfect PR 70 deep cameo can reach values of $50 to $100 or more. Let's talk real numbers, from real sales. These aren't just estimates, these are actual prices collectors have paid. A 1988 D nickel with full steps graded MS67 by PCGS sold for $528 at auction. A 1988 less proof 70 deep cameo nickel brought in $103 on eBay. A 1988 P off-center strike nickel sold for $185. Simply because it had a 15% shift. A raw, ungraded 1988 full steps nickel in pristine condition sold on a coin forum for $125, with multiple collectors bidding to grab it. So yes, the value is real. But the key is knowing what to look for. You might be asking, how can I find one of these valuable nickels? Well, the good news is, they're out there. Here's what to do. Check your change. Start with any old jars, drawers, or coin rolls from the bank. Look at mint marks. Focus on 1988D and 1988S, and inspect closely. Use a magnifying glass. Look for full steps on Monticello, doubling on letters, or off-center strikes. Compare with high-resolution images. Online resources from PCGS and NGC show what premium varieties look like. Get it graded. If your coin looks flawless or unique, send it to a professional grader. This adds huge value and credibility. It's easy to overlook coins like the 1988 nickel. After all, it's just pocket change, right? But now you know, behind that modest face lies a story of history, artistry, and value. And for those willing to take the time, examine carefully, and understand what makes a coin rare, the rewards can be far greater than 5 cents. So before you toss that old nickel aside, flip it over, inspect the steps, check the date, and who knows? You might be holding a tiny treasure worth hundreds. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more coin collecting secrets, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another hidden gem in your own pocket change. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Today, we're diving deep into the story of a coin that most people overlook but could be hiding immense value, the 2006 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. You might think it's just worth 5 cents, but what if I told you that some versions of this coin are being sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your change, how to spot rare varieties, and how much they can go for in today's coin market. Let's start with the basics. The 2006 5-cent coin is part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series, which began way back in 1938. But 2006 was a particularly special year. Why? Because it marked the return of Monticello, the iconic home of Thomas Jefferson. On the reverse side of the coin from 2004 to 2005, the U.S. Mint had introduced a special Westward Journey nickel series to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. This meant different reverse designs showing scenes from that historic journey. But in 2006, the traditional design came back, with some exciting updates. The obverse, or front of the coin, features a new forward-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Jamie Franke. This was the first time Jefferson had ever been shown looking straight ahead on U.S. currency. It was a bold and modern take, with the word liberty written in his own handwriting right next to his portrait. Pretty cool, right? Now, here's where things start getting interesting. While billions of 2006 nickels were minted, not all of them are created equal. The vast majority are common, sure, but a select few have errors, varieties, or premium minting qualities that make them extremely valuable. There are a few key things to look out for. Mint mark. These coins were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, marked by a small P or D near Jefferson's shoulder. Some proof versions were struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark. Errors. These are where collectors really perk up. If your 2006 nickel has an off-center strike, a double die, clip planchette, or die cracks, you could be holding a coin worth serious cash. Full steps variety. If the steps on the Monticello building are fully visible and clearly struck, known as full steps nickels, collectors will pay a premium. Coins with 5 or 6 full steps and no visible wear are highly desirable, especially in MS67 or MS68 condition. Let's get into the money part. What's this coin actually worth? Here's the breakdown. Circulated 2006 nickels, the ones you'll find in your pocket or change jar, are usually just worth face value, 5 cents. But if they're in great condition, even circulated ones can fetch 10 to 25 cents from bulk buyers or collectors trying to complete a rolled uncirculated examples in mint state, MS, condition, especially those graded MS65 and above, start to become much more valuable. An MS66 coin can go for $5 to $15. But that's just the beginning. MS67 full steps nickels, especially from the Denver Mint, are much rarer and can sell for $50 to $200 depending on eye appeal and market demand. MS68 examples with full steps are incredibly rare. Only a handful exist. One 2006 MS68 full steps nickel sold at auction for over $1,000. Yes, for a nickel, proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are also highly collectible. These coins were specially struck for collectors using polished dies and planchets. A 2006 S-proof nickel in PR70 deep cameo can sell for $30 to $75 depending on market conditions. Errors are the real jackpot. Some 2006 nickels have been found with double die obverses or reverses, where parts of the design are duplicated slightly from a second impression. These can range from $50 to $500 or more, depending on severity. Off-center strikes, if your 2006 nickel has part of the design missing because it was misaligned when struck, that can also bring $100 or more depending on how dramatic the error is. So why is this nickel gaining so much attention now? Part of it is because modern coins are finally starting to get the respect they deserve in the collector world. For years, only old silver or gold coins were considered truly valuable. But today, collectors are realizing that modern coins with pristine condition, rare varieties, or unusual errors can be just as desirable and much more affordable to collect. And let's not forget the emotional factor. People love the story behind a coin. The 2006 Jefferson nickel represents a bridge between the past and present. It honors American history while showcasing modern design innovation. It's a piece of change that connects directly to the legacy of a founding father. As of today, the value of these coins continues to trend upward, especially for high-grade examples. The coin market as a whole has been heating up, and with more collectors entering the hobby, particularly through social media and YouTube, the demand for unique, high-quality coins is only growing. Alright, so now you're probably asking, how do I find one of these valuable nickels? Great question. Here's what you need to do. Start by checking your spare change. Look closely at every 2006 nickel you find. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop to inspect details like the steps on Monticello, the clarity of Jefferson's face, and any unusual doubling or striking errors. Weigh the coin. Standard nickels weigh 5 grams. A coin that weighs more or less might have been struck on the wrong planchet, which could mean big money. If you find a potential rare or valuable coin, don't clean it. Cleaning can destroy value. Store it in a coin flip, 2x2 holder, or plastic capsule. For the most valuable finds, consider getting the coin professionally graded by a company like PCGS or NGC. This adds trust, legitimacy, and value in the eyes of collectors. The 2006 Jefferson nickel might seem like an ordinary piece of change, but hidden among the billions are coins that tell an extraordinary story of American history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of the hunt. Whether you're a casual coin checker or a serious collector, the next valuable coin could be sitting in your pocket right now. Have you found a rare 2006 nickel? Or do you have one with an unusual feature you're not sure about? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you want me to review your coin, send me a photo or video. I might feature it in a future episode. Pushpin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more, and share it with friends who might be sitting on a treasure without even realizing it. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and as always, happy collecting. In this video, we're diving deep into the world of the 2013 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel, to uncover the incredible history, the rare errors, and the current market value of this small yet fascinating piece of American currency. If you're a collector, a treasure hunter, or just curious about the change in your pocket, you're in the right place. So buckle up and let's get started. Let's begin with a little history. The 5-cent coin we're talking about today is commonly referred to as the Jefferson nickel. It has been in circulation since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it features the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse or front side. On the reverse, we see Jefferson's iconic home, Monticello, located in Virginia. Now, the 2013 nickel might not look much different from others at first glance. It features the modernized image of Jefferson, introduced in 2006, where he directly faces the viewer, a bold and lifelike redesign that gives the coin a more personal touch. This portrait is accompanied by the word Liberty, inscribed in Jefferson's own handwriting, and the date, 2013. But what makes the 2013 nickel special? Is it rare? Are there errors? What should collectors look for? And most importantly, what's it worth today? Stay tuned, because we're about to answer all of that and more. In 2013, these nickels were struck at two major U.S. mints: the Philadelphia Mint, which has no mint mark, the Denver Mint, marked with a D. Philadelphia produced over 655 million nickels in 2013, while Denver struck about 623 million. So yes, in terms of mintage, these coins are not rare. But as you'll soon find out, it's not just about how many were made, it's about how they were made. That's where things get exciting. Now let's get into the part that every collector and treasure hunter loves: errors and varieties. Despite the high mintage, some 2013 nickels left the mint with mistakes, and these mistakes can make them far more valuable than face value. Here are a few key error types to watch for. 1. Die cracks and cuds. Die cracks appear as raised lines on the coin, while cuds are areas where a piece of the die has broken off, causing a blob-like shape on the coin. Some 2013 nickels have noticeable die cracks around Jefferson's face or on the Monticello dome. These can increase the coin's value depending on the size and location of the error point. 2. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during minting. The more dramatic the off-center, the more valuable the coin. A 2013 nickel with a 50% off-center strike can sell for over $100 to the right buyer. 3. Double die errors, DDR. These are extremely sought after. A double die obverse or reverse means the coin was struck twice, and if you look closely under magnification, you'll see doubled features, like Jefferson's eye, the word Liberty, or parts of Monticello. While not common in the 2013 series, if you do find one, it could be worth a lot. 4. Misaligned dies. These can cause the obverse and reverse to not line up perfectly, and collectors will often pay premiums for these visually striking errors. Let's talk numbers. What is the 2013 5-cent coin actually worth in today's market? Here's a breakdown. Circulated coins. Most 2013 nickels found in your change are worth 5 cents. But always check for errors. Uncirculated coins, MS60 to MS65 coins in mint condition with no visible wear can be worth 25 cents to $1.50. High-grade coins, MS66, MS67. These coins, graded by professional services like NGC or PCGS, can fetch $10 to $50, depending on the condition. Error coins, depending on the type and severity of the error. 2013 nickels have sold for $100 to over $500 on eBay, heritage auctions, and other collector markets. 1 example, a 2013 D nickel with a dramatic off-center strike recently sold online for $145. Another, with a strong die crack and retained cud, brought in $230 at auction. So yes, that nickel in your pocket? It might just be worth more than you think. If you want to find out whether your 2013 nickel is special, here's what to do. Examine the coin carefully, use a magnifying glass or coin loupe. Look closely at the lettering, Jefferson's features, and Monticello for any doubling, cracks, or unusual marks. Check for luster. A shiny, uncirculated coin could be worth grading. Weigh it. A standard nickel should weigh 5.00 grams. If it's off, you might have a planchette error. Compare with known errors. Check coin websites, YouTube channels, and collector forums to compare your coin. Consider grading. If your coin looks perfect or has an error, consider sending it to a grading company. That slabbed coin could be a goldmine. List it or auction it. eBay, Etsy, and auction houses are great places to sell. Always take clear, high-resolution photos. The Jefferson nickel is a favorite among US coin collectors. Its long history, variety of designs, and potential for rare finds make it perfect for beginners and pros alike. And because nickels are still cheap to collect, building a full date and mint set is both fun and affordable. The 2013 coin, while recent, adds modern intrigue to this classic series. It's a great reminder that not all treasure lies buried in the ground, some of it is already in your pocket. So, what did we learn today? The 2013 United States 5-cent coin may seem ordinary, but with the right knowledge, you could spot a rare gem hiding in plain sight. Whether it's a mint error, a high-grade specimen, or just a beautiful piece of history, this coin has a story to tell. Have you checked your change lately? Go take a look right now. Who knows what you'll find. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2013 Jefferson nickel, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more hidden coin treasures, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Let me know in the comments if you found any valuable nickels, or if you have questions about your coins. I'd love to help. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting!